Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing some reverse tie-dye. I thrifted this Red Sox t-shirt and it's a navy blue ground. I'm going to reverse tie-dye it, which means take the color out, and then I'm going to add some colors on top. I'm going to show you all the steps, so let's get started. I'm going to just do a spiral for this one. It'll just be kind of classic. I'm going to start by dampening my shirt here, front and the back a little bit. So I'm going to do the logo down because I found that the spiral that is on the table facing down always looks crisper than the one on the back. So I want it to be basically right in the middle.
Quick story time. I've actually had this shirt for a really long time and I thrifted it last summer. I just wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to dye it. And I was also a little bit concerned that Boston Red Sox fans might not appreciate a tie-dye version, but I just decided to go for it, and I think it turned out really cute. So after I got the spiral done, I put the rubber bands on in a perpendicular fashion until it looked like a little pie.
All right, so here's my logo, and it has the spiral nice and tight on the side. It's a good spiral on this side too, it's just less perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna just tighten it up.
I wanted to make sure my rubber bands were super duper tight since the White Bright is very powerful.
This one is ready to go into the White Bright pot.
So I went outside to my discharge dyeing station and dipped it into the White Bright. I have multiple videos on my channel about using White Bright, and I will link one of them at the end of this video. So if you have specific questions about it, you can go and check out that video next.
All right, so now I'm going to wash this out in my sink.
I actually dipped this whole thing into the soda ash solution that I had nearby just to kind of stop the White Bright. And now I'm going to rinse it out and run it through the machine with Synthropol and dry it completely.
All right, so now it's been completely washed and dried, and I think it looks pretty cool. It has a very subtle sort of spider web spiral pattern going on. What I want to do now is I want to keep it still blue and red for the Red Sox, but I want to throw all of the blues that I have in my stash at it. So I have strong navy from Dharma, turquoise from Jacquard, cobalt blue from Jacquard, medium blue from Jacquard, glacier blue from Dharma, which is very subtle, better blue green from Dharma, which is very green actually, and aquamarine from Dharma. So I'm just going to throw all the greens I have onto it. I'm going to scrunch it up in this colander and ice dye it. Okay, so let's get dyeing.
I just have to say, if you guys are enjoying this video, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing.
Okay, so what I'm going to do next is add my soda ash solution. I did not soak it before I put it into the colander, so I'm just going to pour some soda ash solution on top here. So if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I reuse my soda ash solution. So if you're dyeing multiple shirts, you don't have to mix up fresh soda ash solution for each one. So anyway, I'm just going to use this stuff that I have in my studio, and I'm just going to just make sure it's covered. All right, I'll just let this sit for 10-15 minutes. Okay, so it's been sitting here in the soda ash for at least 20 minutes, maybe a little longer. So I'm just going to drain it, and then I'm going to set it up over on my bucket. Okay, so I'm going to put the ice on the shirt first. All right, lots of ice here.
So the next step is to add the dye, and I'm wearing a dust mask, which is very important. And I'm just scooping out little bits of dye and sprinkling them as I go. With ice dye, I always say less dye is more. You can always add more dye later, but it's a lot harder to take it off. If you're looking for a guide of colors and brands of dye that work well for ice dye, I have another video that I think you should watch. It's where I go over multiple tie-dye kits and talk about how they do for ice dye. I'll link it at the end of this video, and if you're looking for guidance on colors, go and check it out. After I get all the dye on, I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours and drip, drip, drip.
Okay, so this is the next morning and it's nice and melty. I'm going to let it sit for a little bit longer. I'm wondering if I need to do another round because I don't really want a lot of yellow in there. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue on top of this piece, and then I'm going to put more ice on top. So I'm going to do the dye under the ice now.
So here's the perfect example of you can always add more dye if you need to, but you can't take it off. So I'm glad that I erred on the sparing side with the dye. I'm just going to add some more and add a little bit more ice. No big deal.
So I'm going to let this sit for another 24 hours. Okay, so my piece has been batching for 48 hours and I'm going to take it apart. I'm just going to put these in here. This is all going to be washed, so just let it go. Okay, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I have a really nice pattern that you can still see from the reverse tie-dye, and then this is going to be blues and greens and teals, which I think is looking really nice. So I'm going to go to the sink and wash it, and then I'm going to wash and dry it in the machine.
So I'm heading back to my beloved slop sink, and I'm going to rinse all the extra dye out of my shirt, which can take a little while. Then I'm going to add Centerpol and wash it on hot by hand before putting it into the washing machine and washing it on hot again with Centerpol and then drying. So here's the shirt all washed and dried. Here it is on, and this is actually just on my phone camera. This is on my YouTube camera, and I think that the colors turned out better on my phone camera, which is sort of funny. It turned out a little bit more green than I was envisioning, but I think it turned out really nice. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you're a baseball fan, is it okay to tie-dye the merch? Let me know. If you're looking for a guide for ice dye colors, be sure to check out this video here. And also, here's a nice video on discharge dyeing, also known as reverse tie-dye. All right, see you guys in the next one. Bye.